Greetings. I'm Habte from University of North Florida.
And greetings, I'm Joseph Kerski from Esri and also from the University of Denver.
We're happy to be with you today, Joseph. Let us chat about spatial thinking, what is and why it matters, and how to engage with it in instruction and research.
Indeed, great idea. What is your definition of it, Yergalem?
Joseph, today we're not talking about a new concept. Spatial thinking is, one of the oldest topic and concept, maybe one of the oldest in human history. So today, what makes it different is spatial thinking is becoming more relevant, more important, and more applicable in our daily life. That's why we brought this topic in our today's discussion. So spatial thinking for me is just, beyond obvious importance of our daily practices. Spatial thinking is different for different people. Like, so psychologists may call it spatial cognition, which is simply spatial cognition of automatically, updating your location. Like you are now in Denver, but when you are traveling to New York, and your brain will not tell you still you are in Denver. So automatically your brain, or your mind updates, your location, and it tells you in Denver. So that's what we call, spatial cognition. Others, like artists or engineers or designers, may call it visual thinking. That is how people think about image or about space. Geographers like you and me may call it spatial thinking. So if you ask me what is spatial thinking, for me it is a knowledge, it is a skill, and also it is a habit of our mind, which deals with visualization, interpretation, reasoning, using location, distance, direction, relationship, movement, and changes in space. The reason why I said it is a knowledge, because it is acquired through human spatial cognition. And it is a skill because we use spatial thinking to solve daily problems, because it is also a habit, since we use it's our daily practice, it is our daily routine to solve spatial problem. Therefore, for me, spatial thinking is both knowledge as well as a skill that our mind regularly works on as a habit in order to deal with spatial problems and spatial concepts. So that's what I think about spatial thinking. So generally, whether it is a daily habit or a special cognitive ability or an advance of disciplinary level practice, spatial thinking has a huge impact on how we function in our daily day-to-day life and also explore our world. So what about you? Your thought about spatial thinking, Joseph?
Well, I love what you're saying about the skills, the knowledge, and the habit of mind. We'll unravel that a little bit more. My definition of spatial thinking is, well, first of all, let me talk about my interest, mostly on the geographic side. So perhaps my definition is better labeled as geospatial thinking. This overlaps some with geoliteracy, which has also been receiving increasing attention in various quarters. My working definition of spatial thinking is as follows, and it includes sets of basically 3 elements, 4 elements, and then 3 elements. So it is, in my opinion, identifying, analyzing, and understanding. That's the first group of 3. Identifying, analyzing, and understanding. The location, scale, patterns, and trends. That's the second group. That's the 4. Location, scale, patterns, and trends of the geographic and temporal relationships among data, phenomenon, and issues. That's the third group of 3. So in sum, I believe it's identifying, analyzing, and understanding the location, scale, patterns, and trends of the geographic and temporal relationships among data, phenomena, and issues.
Oh, that's great, Joseph. I'm glad you, Joseph, you just raised the importance of time, which is actually very, very critical in spatial thinking. You know, we cannot think of spatial thinking taking out time because time is so powerful that makes, spatial phenomena, all that you mentioned, the scale, the pattern, and the change, all those are governed by time. Time makes the spatial thinking, spatial data, uh, more relevant or less relevant based on in what time, in what context of time we're talking about. So time here is very powerful.
Good point. And we get so focused on the location, don't we, in spatial patterns and spatial thinking. But sometimes we neglect the time or temporal element, which is often of great importance. Changes on the Earth occur over space and time, right? We are living on a
Yes.
dynamic planet. After all, physical forces are acting, and 8 billion humans are simultaneously acting to change the planet over a myriad of timescales.
Mm-hmm. So I like Japanese saying that goes like this: when time comes, every even a rat can be a tiger. What does it mean? It means that you know time makes things more relevant or less relevant depending on when it happened, at what scale it happened, or in what location it happened. That's the time within that time framework. Yes, that's true. Time is important, and even a rat becomes a tiger when times come. So all the data that we use in spatial thinking, they are governed by time. Some of the data that we probably use, if they are outdated, they're just irrelevant. If they are updated and if they are relevant to the time, then they are more powerful and more valuable. So I think this saying is also directly applied to the concept of time in the context of spatial thinking.
Mm-hmm. And I know we've been talking about the definition of spatial thinking in this conversation. In my view, more important actually than the definition is applying it. In other words, that the diverse communities of scholars and practitioners who really care about this topic work together
Mhm.
to ensure that spatial thinking is supported, taught, and put to use in education and then in greater society. What is our
That's
goal in
true.
terms of spatial thinking? I like how you touched on it, and also the National Research Council's report, Learning to Think Spatially, GIS as a support system in the K-12 curriculum puts it. It is to cultivate the spatial thinking habit of mind, habit of mind. This habit of mind is the geographic perspective of how the
That's
world
true.
works,
Hmm.
including how systems function, how and why certain relationships exist, how we might approach and solve problems. How can we cultivate this spatial thinking is the next question. That's the subject, as you know, of many of the essays that appear in various places like the ESRI Community Education blog, from pedagogical strategies to specific skills and technologies used in various journals, chapters, and whole books. What could be our measure of success in spatial thinking is another thing that we should probably unpack. If we can identify key points in the educational curriculum where spatial thinking can enhance what we're teaching and how we're teaching it, and in those points put spatial thinking in and skills into practice, then I think we will have succeeded.
Yeah, I think you raised a very important issue. What is our goal, and how we can measure our achievement, and where should be our target? One of the main concerns here in spatial sciences, especially in American school, it is, uh, spatial literacy is a major concern because most of our students, when they join college, they don't have any kind of geography background or any spatial science background, and that will tell you what's going on in K-12 uh, curriculum. So one of our main targets should be in the K-12 curriculum because that is where the link is missing. I was reading a very interesting article from American Association of Geographers from 1987, I think, where geography was eliminated from Harvard University. And I think the journal was entitled Academic Battle on the Discipline, over the discipline of geography. In 1948, Harvard, which is one of the best university of the world actually, eliminated geography just because of personal conflict between people, nothing to do with the discipline. So you can imagine if one of the best university of the country eliminated geography, what will happen to geography in other universities and the colleges? Actually, the same thing in probably in its worst way. So I think that is, one of the main reasons why we have a gap here, because geography became, less relevant in college education since then. Unfortunately, what we see today, the need of spatial literacy in our school. One of our focus should be to look at how spatial thinking is important and how it is relevant to our kids. The study of human intelligence or human intellect has three important dimensions. One is the verbal dimension, and the other one is a mathematical dimension, and the third one is spatial dimension. So that means if you measure the human intellect, and these are, the core. That's why we have this core curriculum of reading, writing, and arithmetic or computational skill in our K-12 curriculum. Unfortunately, spatial thinking was missing, or it was just, ignored, or it didn't get the attention that it deserved. So I think now our starting point should be this. Look, this is one of the core human intelligence dimension, and yet it is not, recognized, well recognized, and it is not even clearly put in curriculum. So that is one of the starting point. That's how we can convince this. Well, there are so many researchers that success in, science, technology, engineering, and maths highly related to spatial intelligence. Those who have spatial intelligence, they are more successful in those fields of study at school level. So if this is, something even beyond, the skill of spatial thinking, then this is one of the things that it has to be, brought into our discussion. It is important not only as a skill, but it is also a cognitive or a spatial cognitive tools that help us, students to achieve a better score in science, technology, maths, and engineering. So that's one important point. The other thing is, it is also a skill. For me, it's a kind of survival skill, because if you are not, especially, if you don't have special skill, you cannot do your daily, activities. You don't know where the stores are located. If you don't have a special skill, you don't know how to find your way and how to, perform your daily activities. So beyond special cognitive ability, then it is also a skill that, our students need to practice. It could be for safety reason, it could be for smooth, daily life activities. In any case, space is always there in your daily activities. So our goal should be, as a geographer and a professional spatial thinker, I strongly believe that spatial thinking should receive the same level of interest in education as reading, writing, and communication, receive. So that is, if we are achieved to bring to the attention of the broader community in the education field, if we are able to bring this issue as an important part of the core curriculum, that's going to be our success.